You surely already know about the wealth and glamour of Dubai, but do you know the truth that the rulers of this place want to hide? Behind all the beauty of the incredible skyscrapers lie sad stories of slave labor. Moreover, prostitution here occurs in an uncontrolled manner, with immigrant women seeking better opportunities being deceived by false promises. Discover in today's video 10 shocking facts about women in Dubai that will leave you speechless. Let's get straight to the first fact. The first fact will make you question everything you know about this glittering city. As someone who's lived in Dubai, I've seen firsthand the challenges women face in this city. Today, I'm sharing my experiences and those of other women to show you what life is really like behind the glitz and glamour. Welcome to Dubai, a city that dazzles with its towering skyscrapers and opulent lifestyle. But beneath this glittering facade lies a hidden world that few outsiders ever see. From the struggles of migrant workers to the cultural norms that shape women's lives, Dubai's true story is far more complex than its glossy image suggests. Are you ready to discover the shocking truth about life for women in this city of extremes? The second fact unveils a tale of two cities. As we peel back Dubai's layers of luxury, the contrast between the ultra-wealthy and those struggling to survive becomes impossible to ignore. You might think everyone in Dubai drives a Lamborghini, but the reality is far different. Gleaming skyscrapers stretch towards the sky, their glass facades reflecting the harsh desert sun. At their bases, expensive sports cars line the streets, many covered in a thick layer of dust, abandoned and forgotten. These abandoned luxury cars tell a story of shattered dreams and economic instability, revealing the dark side of Dubai's prosperity. The third fact delves into the silent workforce that keeps Dubai running. Beyond the gleaming facades and luxurious lifestyles, we uncover a hidden world that forms the very foundation of Dubai's success. Thousands of workers from countries like Bangladesh and India form the invisible backbone of this thriving metropolis. These workers endure grueling conditions, working long hours in extreme heat for meager wages. Their living conditions are deplorable, with overcrowded and unsanitary accommodations being the norm. The stories of exploitation are heartbreaking, with many finding their passports confiscated by employers, effectively trapping them in the country. The fourth fact reveals Dubai's dark underbelly, where the underground sex industry thrives. Despite its conservative values, the city's global hub status and large expatriate population create a demand for illicit services. Women, lured by false promises of legitimate jobs, often find themselves forced into prostitution, their passports seized to prevent escape. This clandestine industry operates in upscale bars, nightclubs, and private residences, far from the glossy image portrayed to tourists. The fifth fact uncovers the cultural chains that bind women in Dubai. Despite its modern facade, Dubai imposes strict dress codes and behavioral expectations on women. The city's futuristic architecture and luxury belie a society where women must constantly navigate cultural norms that dictate their appearance and actions. The pressure to conform is immense, with social and legal consequences for those who don't. This paradox highlights the tension between Dubai's progressive image and its deeply rooted traditional values. The sixth fact exposes the paradox of progress in Dubai. The city's technological advancements coexist with significant social inequalities. While Dubai boasts innovations like ATMs that dispense gold, many residents, particularly women from developing countries, live in poverty and face exploitation. This stark contrast underscores the human cost of Dubai's rapid development, where technological progress often leaves basic human rights and equality behind. The seventh fact takes us beyond the veil of Dubai's glittering facade to reveal a male guardianship system that constrains women's rights. In Dubai, women need permission from male relatives for many basic decisions. This system, coupled with restrictive social norms, limits women's personal freedoms despite the city's modern appearance. As Dubai evolves, the question remains whether women's rights will expand or remain tethered by these cultural chains. The eighth fact highlights the hidden cost of luxury in Dubai. The opulent lifestyle enjoyed by some often comes at the expense of those who build and maintain it. Migrant workers, who form the majority of the labor force, work under harsh conditions for luxury, have led to widespread exploitation and human rights abuses that go largely unnoticed by the public. These workers' sacrifices are the unacknowledged foundation of Dubai's glittering image. The ninth fact casts light on the invisible women of Dubai. Many women, particularly those from developing countries, live in the shadows, their contributions and struggles hidden from view. These women, often employed in domestic work or low-paying jobs, face additional challenges such as sexual harassment and discrimination. Their stories are a stark reminder of the hidden human cost behind Dubai's glittering image, and they underscore the disparities between the city's public persona and the private realities of its inhabitants. The 10th and final fact shatters the illusion of opportunity that Dubai promises. While Dubai markets itself as a land of opportunity, the reality for many is a life of debt and despair. The city's economic instability, coupled with stringent legal constraints, leaves many residents, especially expatriates, struggling to survive. The illusion of opportunity often masks the harsh realities of life in this desert metropolis, where dreams of a better life can quickly turn into a nightmare. So, let me tell you a story that will chill you to the bone. It's the tale of Maria, a young woman from the Philippines who dreamt of a better life in Dubai. Maria grew up in a small village where opportunities were scarce. When she heard about a job opening in Dubai as a housemaid, with a promise of a good salary, she jumped at the chance. The agency painted a picture of a glamorous life, with decent pay and fair working conditions. With stars in her eyes and hope in her heart, she left her family behind, believing she was heading towards a brighter future. Upon her arrival in Dubai, Maria was met by her employer at the airport. She was immediately taken to a large villa in an affluent neighborhood. However, her initial excitement quickly turned into a nightmare. The first red flag appeared when her employer took her passport for safekeeping. This was the beginning of her captivity. Maria was forced to work 18-hour days, 7 days a week. Her tasks were relentless: cleaning, cooking, and caring for the children of the household. There were no breaks, no days off, and no chance to rest. She slept on a thin mattress in a small, windowless room in the basement. The promises of a good salary evaporated, as she was paid a fraction of what she was owed, often with months of wages withheld as a means of control. The physical and emotional abuse began almost immediately. Maria's employer berated her constantly, shouting insults and threats. Any mistake, no matter how minor, was met with slaps and kicks. The other household staff, also trapped in similar conditions, could only offer her sympathetic glances. They too were powerless to help. Maria's situation became even more dire when she fell ill due to the grueling hours and lack of proper nutrition. Instead of receiving medical care, she was forced to continue working, her health deteriorating by the day. Her pleas for help were met with threats of deportation and accusations of laziness. The fear of being thrown into jail for any fabricated reason loomed large, keeping her in a constant state of terror. One night, in a desperate attempt to escape, Maria managed to sneak out of the villa. She wandered the streets, hoping to find someone who could help her. But without her passport, and with little knowledge of the city, she was quickly found by her employer's security. She was dragged back to the villa and beaten severely as a warning to never attempt escape again. Maria's spirit was nearly broken. She had no way to contact her family, and every day felt like an eternity of suffering. Her story, like many others, remained hidden behind the high walls of Dubai's luxurious homes. A dark secret in a city prides itself on opulence and wealth. Eventually, Maria's plight was discovered by a neighbor who heard her cries for help. This kind soul contacted a local charity that worked to rescue abused domestic workers. After months of planning, and with the help of the charity, Maria was finally freed from her bondage. She returned to the Philippines, but the scars of her ordeal, both physical and emotional, remained. Maria's story is a harrowing reminder of the hidden suffering that many endure in the shadows of Dubai's glittering facade. It's a stark contrast to the city's image of wealth and luxury, revealing a world where hope and dreams can quickly turn into nightmares. Another story is about Anna, a young woman from Ukraine who came to Dubai with hopes of a brighter future. She had heard stories of prosperity and opportunity, and when she received an offer to work as a hostess in a high-end restaurant, she thought her dreams were finally coming true. Anna arrived in Dubai with high spirits. The city's grandeur and modernity mesmerized her. She was picked up by a representative of the agency that had hired her and taken to a luxurious apartment shared with several other young women. Everything seemed perfect at first glance, but the reality was about to take a dark turn. On her first day, Anna was told that her job would not be as a hostess, but as a special attendant for VIP clients. Confused and alarmed, she questioned the change. The response was immediate and brutal. Her passport was confiscated, and she was informed that she owed a large sum of money for her travel and accommodation. The only way to repay the debt, she was told, was to comply with the demands of the clients. Anna's new duties involved entertaining men in private rooms, often leading to unwanted sexual advances. The initial shock and horror left her paralyzed with fear. Refusal or resistance led to threats of violence and deportation, along with reminders that she had no legal standing in Dubai without her passport. As the days turned into weeks, the abuse became routine. Anna was forced to endure the lecherous behaviors of men who treated her as a commodity. The psychological trauma was immense, but the physical abuse was even worse. Any attempt to assert herself or reject the advances resulted in severe beatings from the guards who monitored the women. One night, Anna was subjected to the worst experience yet. A group of men, intoxicated and aggressive, took turns assaulting her while the guards looked on, indifferent to her screams and pleas for help. She was left bruised, bleeding, and deeply traumatized. Despite the terror and pain, Anna began to secretly plan her escape. She whispered with other victims, learning their stories and gathering strength from their shared suffering. They managed to smuggle a phone and contact an international organization dedicated to rescuing trafficked individuals. After weeks of clandestine communication and careful planning, the rescue operation was set in motion. The organization worked with local authorities who were willing to help, and one night, Anna and several other women were finally freed from their captors. The aftermath of Anna's ordeal was a long journey of recovery. She returned to Ukraine, haunted by the memories but determined to rebuild her life. Her story, like many others, exposes the grim underbelly of Dubai's glittering facade, where the promise of opportunity can quickly turn into a nightmare of exploitation and abuse. So, the next time you marvel at Dubai's futuristic skyline and its luxurious lifestyle, remember these hidden truths. Behind the shimmering facade lies a city of stark contrasts, where progress and poverty coexist, and where the promise of a better life often comes at a steep human cost. The stories of those who live and work in Dubai reveal a complex and often troubling reality, far removed from the glossy image presented to the world. As we peel back the layers of Dubai's glittering facade, we've uncovered stories that reveal a much darker reality. From the exploitation of migrant workers to the harrowing experiences of women like Maria and Anna, it's clear that the city's allure hides deep and troubling truths. These stories are not just isolated incidents, but part of a larger pattern of human rights abuses that too often go unnoticed. Remember, behind every luxurious building and every sparkling skyline, there are countless individuals suffering in silence. Their voices are often drowned out by the city's dazzling image, but it's crucial that we listen and acknowledge their pain. If this video has opened your eyes to the hidden side of Dubai, don't let it stop here. Share these stories, raise awareness, and join the fight against exploitation and abuse. The more we know, the more we can do to help those in need and push for a world where every person is treated with dignity and respect. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the untold truths of our world. Together, we can shine a light on the darkest corners and work towards a brighter, fairer future for all.